Good to see you, General. What are the national security implications of leaks?
They're huge, Liz, and you just got a few examples there. But the fact is all these leaks, and they started early on from the President's conversation with the President of Mexico and Australia, and then, as you said, there's one a day, and that is creating an environment. And it's even bigger than the leaks. We are seeing, if you put this all together, the patterns of behavior on the onslaught against this administration, the Russian collusion, which I believe, like the President does, this is fake news. You see the things going on with the delay on Capitol Hill by the Democrats on the new appointees that have been nominated. They are slow rolling them. So you have all these Obamites that are still left in the government that are contributing to the leaks, as well as you have certain people in the Republican Party, for whatever the reason, that are contributing. So you now have what I believe is approaching, when you put it all together in the patterns of behavior, more than leaks, you have treason against the government because they are trying to take down the Trump administration.
You know, that's a heavy charge. Let's get into that in a second, because we want to just run through some of the leaks that you mentioned and what we had found. The leaked transcripts of the phone calls between the President and leaders of Mexico and Australia. You just noted them. The President called that disgraceful. Leaked emails showing how the Qatar crisis developed in the U.S. as Mideast countries cut off Qatar as a backer of terrorism. It can get as petty as something like the President wanting the hand towels changed on Air Force One for being too rough. I mean, this is really, do you think that this is historic? Because it seems like it's really coming on strong, all these leaks.
Liz, it is historic. You can also roll into that with the UK government on the Manchester leaks, on the process that was going on there. And the UK is our most trusted foreign nation, and we have extremely close intelligence ties with them, and that made them furious because it was leaked from the United States over into the United Kingdom, and they lost confidence in this administration. All these things build up, as I say, a pattern behavior against the whole Trump administration.
Yeah, your point is well taken. Within hours of the Manchester bombing at that concert, where 23 were killed, 250 injured, leaks started pouring out showing the crime scene photos, naming the terrorist bomber. That basically hurt, according to the UK intelligence, hurt the probe into catching the terrorist ring behind it, to the point where Theresa May, Prime Minister, went on TV with a statement saying that she will talk to the President. And you're right, it shut down intelligence for some time, intelligence sharing between the two countries, right?
Exactly, and there's no closer nation than the U.S. and the U.K. on our relationships and the intelligence sharing.
You know, former Reagan campaign manager and Trump Great America PAC, he's the co-chair of that. He's Ed Rollins. He responded to Anthony Scaramucci's now deleted tweet, blasting the reports about his leaked financial disclosures and the fight with White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Let's take a listen.
Challenge the Chief of Staff at a time of critical fights on the Hill right today, with all the chaos over sessions and what have you, is about as dumb a thing as I've seen.
What do you think? Dumbest thing as Ed Rollins has seen. What do you think?
Well, it's not necessary. Let me put it that way. I'll be a little more diplomatic than Ed was. The fact is Sessions has disappointed many of us because he recused himself when he shouldn't. It was an intelligence matter, not a criminal matter. There's a lot of reasons. And if the President knew he was going to recuse himself, he wouldn't have done it. We have a special counsel. It shouldn't be there. And then the one we have is really biased to the Democratic Party. He was involved when Uranium One was sold by Hillary Clinton, and he delivered a sample to Moscow. And so there are a lot of conflicting things that no administration has ever had a special counsel so early in the administration. This is complicating President Trump's ability to manage and lead the United States, let alone the free world.
Quickly about Jeff Sessions' recusal, DOJ regulations, and I think the law says he had to recuse himself because he's a campaign advisor, didn't disclose his discussions with the meeting with the Russian ambassador. But are you saying there's a wrinkle here if it involves something to do with counterintelligence, that he did not need to recuse himself?
That's the brilliant Andy McCarthy's assessment, that he did not because it was intelligence that they were looking at, not a criminal matter. And so the fact is according to Andy McCarthy, and I think he's as good as any, certainly as good as Judge Napolitano, who has a different view on it. But the fact that was his view, that he did not have to recuse himself, and you know he would not have put a special counsel in, particularly when it was Comey who leaked a classified document to the New York Times that got the special counsel appointed. That was deliberate.